Have you ever awakened with your heart racing, as if a silent storm had begun before your eyes even opened? That nameless sense of urgency that tightens your chest and sends your mind racing against phantoms that don't even exist yet? My dear one, if you're here now, breathing with me through these words, I want you to know that I see you. I recognize that invisible battle that begins before dawn, before coffee, before life officially starts. And I want you to know something fundamental. You are not alone in this experience. Morning anxiety is not a flaw in you. It is not evidence of weakness or inadequacy. It is simply an unwelcome visitor, a cloud passing through the infinite sky of your consciousness. Pause for a moment. Place your hand over your heart now, very gently. Do you feel that steady pulse? Your heart is beating without you needing to command it. Your lungs fill and empty without conscious instruction. Your entire body functions through an intelligence that transcends your thinking mind. This same wisdom that keeps you alive, cell by cell, also knows the way back to peace. It has always been here, waiting patiently for you to turn your attention inward, to this sacred place where anxiety cannot touch. I am calm. I am peace. I am deep serenity. Repeat with me now, aloud or whispered to your soul. It doesn't matter if your mind immediately disagrees, saying this isn't true. Your subconscious is listening. It absorbs each word like a seed being planted in fertile soil. With repetition and tenderness, that seed will germinate, grow, blossom into a lived reality. You are programming your consciousness for a new frequency, a frequency of tranquility that has always been yours by divine right. Think of anxiety as waves in the ocean. The waves come, crash against the shore, recede. They are not the entire ocean. You, my dear, are the deep ocean, vast, serene. The waves of racing thoughts, of worries, of fears about the future. They agitate the surface, yes, but you remain untouched in the depths. When you identify with the waves, you lose yourself in turbulence. When you recognize yourself as the ocean, you can watch the waves with compassion, knowing they will pass, inevitably, naturally, without you needing to do anything but observe. Your mind learned to awaken in alert mode. Perhaps for years, perhaps for decades, it believed it needed to protect you by anticipating dangers, rehearsing disasters, preparing you for the worst. And while that intention comes from a primitive desire for survival, it robs you of the most precious gift, this moment now, this sacred instant where nothing terrible is happening, where you are safe, breathing, alive. Anxiety lives in the future or the past, never in the now. And when you anchor your consciousness in this present moment, anxiety has no fuel to burn. Breathe deeply with me. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold gently for 1 second. Now exhale through your mouth, counting to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel how your nervous system responds instantly to this conscious breathing, activating your parasympathetic response of calm and recovery. This is your most powerful tool, always available, always accessible. 3 deep breaths can be your instant portal back to the tranquil center that dwells within you. I trust in the perfect unfolding of my life. I am safe in this moment. Visualize now a soft light, golden like the rising sun, descending upon you like a mantle of divine protection. This light penetrates through the crown of your head, descends through your forehead, relaxing every tense muscle, every tight thought. It flows through your eyes, dissolving the fog of worry. It descends through your jaw, which perhaps you hadn't even realized was clenched. It reaches your neck, your shoulders, releasing years of accumulated tension. The golden light continues its healing journey, traversing your chest, where anxiety likes to lodge itself like an invisible weight. And gently, so gently, it dissolves that tightness, creating space for your heart to breathe freely. Allow that light to reach your abdomen, where unprocessed emotions hide. Allow it to transform fear into trust, worry into faith, urgency into peaceful acceptance. See that golden light flowing through your legs, grounding you to the earth, reminding you that you are sustained, supported, connected with a greater force that loves you unconditionally. You are not floating alone in a terrifying void. You are being held by the invisible hands of the universe, always, in every instant. Now, my dear, we need to talk tenderly about the stories your mind tells in the early hours of the day. I won't be able to handle everything today. Something terrible is going to happen. I'm not strong enough. Everyone expects too much from me. I'm going to fail. Do you recognize these voices? They are familiar as old companions, but that doesn't make them true. They are echoes of ancient fears, limiting beliefs that were planted long before you had the consciousness to question them. But you have consciousness now. And with consciousness comes the power to choose different thoughts, different stories, different truths. When the voice of anxiety says, "You are not enough," you can gently respond, "I am exactly who I need to be in this moment." When it shouts, "Something will go wrong," you can softly affirm, "I trust that I am guided and protected." You are not denying real-life challenges. You are simply refusing to let imagined possibilities steal your present peace. I release what I cannot control. I embrace the peace I choose to cultivate. Control is a seductive illusion that anxiety uses to keep itself alive. It whispers that if you just think enough, plan enough, worry enough, you can prevent all future suffering. But the liberating truth, my dear, is that you never had control over as many things as you believed you needed to have. And when you release that impossible need to control everything and everyone, when you trust in the natural flow of life, something miraculous happens. You discover that you were always sustained, even when you thought you were holding everything alone. Think of a door locked from the inside. For years, you were trapped on the other side of that door, believing there was no exit. But the key was always in your hands. The key is your conscious choice to let go, to trust, to breathe, to return to the present moment repeatedly. Every time you choose an affirmation of peace instead of a thought of fear, you are turning that key. Every time you breathe consciously instead of letting anxiety hijack you, you are opening that door a little more. And one day, perhaps sooner than you imagine, you'll realize you're on the other side, breathing fresh air, feeling the sun on your skin, free. I want you to understand something profound about energy and manifestation. Your thoughts are not neutral. They carry frequencies, vibration. When you awaken in anxiety, you are unconsciously tuning into a radio station that broadcasts more situations to worry about, more reasons to be tense, more evidence that the world is threatening. But you can change stations. You can choose to tune into the frequency of peace, of trust, of gratitude. And when you do this consistently, your external reality begins to reflect your internal shift, not as instant magic, but as a natural consequence of the law of attraction, of energetic resonance. Life responds to your dominant vibration. When you cultivate inner calm, you attract calmer experiences. When you practice trust, you magnetize circumstances that validate that trust. When you anchor yourself in gratitude, you multiply reasons to be grateful. This doesn't mean challenges will disappear completely, but it means you'll face them from a place of centered strength instead of reactive chaos. I am creating peace in my life with every thought I choose. I am powerful beyond measure. Let's practice something now. Take paper and pen or simply reflect with me. I want you to observe without judgment the thoughts that typically invade your mind in the early hours of the day. List 3 of them. Just observe. Don't fight, don't resist, simply acknowledge, this is the thought that I'm not good enough. This is the fear of disappointing someone. This is the worry about money. Now, beside each anxious thought, write a loving affirmation that counterbalances it. I am enough exactly as I am. I do the best I can, and that is valid. The universe provides for me in unexpected ways. This simple exercise is powerful because it brings light to the dark corners where anxiety hides. What remains unconscious has power over you. What you bring to consciousness can be transformed. You are becoming a gentle observer of your mind instead of a victim of your thoughts. And in that compassionate observation, in the conscious creation of new thoughts, you are literally rewiring the neural circuits of your brain. Neuroplasticity is real, my dear. Your brain can learn new patterns at any age, at any moment. It's not too late. It's never too late to choose peace. Perhaps you're thinking, but Louise, I've already tried so many things. Meditation, therapy, medication, exercise, nothing worked completely. And I tell you, with all love, you have not failed. Every attempt, every effort, every moment you sought relief contributed to your journey. Healing is not linear. It doesn't happen overnight. It is like the gradual blooming of a flower that, invisible to the eyes, is doing its sacred work beneath the surface before revealing its beauty to the world. Be patient with yourself. Anxiety may have been your companion for years, perhaps decades. It won't disappear because you read an inspiring text or did one meditation. But it will lose strength. It will visit less frequently. It will stay for shorter periods. And one day, you'll realize you awakened naturally in peace, without effort, without struggle. That day will come. Continue planting seeds of loving thoughts. Continue watering your inner garden with gentle affirmations. Continue trusting that transformation is happening, cell by cell, thought by thought. I forgive myself for all the times I believed I was not enough. I release myself from old patterns that no longer serve me. Forgiveness is essential here, my dear. Forgive yourself for having spent so much time in anxiety. You didn't consciously choose this. You were doing the best you could with the tools and consciousness you had available at the time. Forgive your mind for creating imaginary storms. It was trying to protect you, even if in a misaligned way. Forgive your body for having held tension for so long. It was carrying the emotional weight because it didn't know there was another option. Each forgiveness is a broken chain, a liberation, a step toward the lightness that is your true nature. Connect now with something greater than yourself. You don't need to call it God, universe, source, or divine energy. Choose the name that resonates with your soul. But recognize that there exists an infinite intelligence permeating everything, including you. This intelligence is not separate from you. It flows through every cell, every breath, every heartbeat. When you open to that connection, when you ask for help, when you surrender your worries to that greater force, you are not being weak. You are being wise enough to recognize that you don't need to carry everything alone. Visualize yourself now, wrapped in a bubble of protective light. This bubble is permeable only to love, to peace, to truth. Anxious thoughts may knock against its surface, but they don't penetrate. Dense external energies may try to influence you, but your bubble filters everything, allowing only that which elevates your vibration to reach you. You are safe in this sacred space. You are protected, and at any moment of the day, when you feel you're losing your center, return to this visualization. Rebuild your bubble of light. Remember that you have the power to create an unshakable inner sanctuary. Now let's talk about gratitude, because it is a multiplying force of miracles. And miracles, my dear, are not necessarily spectacular external events. Miracles are shifts in perception, internal shifts that completely transform how you experience life. When you awaken in anxiety, your focus is automatically on what's lacking, what could go wrong, what you need to control. Gratitude is the perfect antidote because it shifts your focus to what is already present, already working, already blessing. Even now, amid whatever emotional turbulence you may be feeling, there are things to be grateful for. The air entering your lungs, the bed where you rested, the water you can drink, the sun that rises every day without fail. These are not small things. They are the fabric of life, and when you acknowledge them with an open heart, something within you expands. You cannot simultaneously be in deep gratitude and paralyzing anxiety. Gratitude and fear do not occupy the same space. So, create a morning ritual of gratitude. Before getting out of bed, before picking up your phone, before diving into the demands of the day, place your hand on your heart and name 3 things you're grateful for. Let it be simple. Let it be sincere. I am grateful for having awakened. I am grateful for this moment of quietude. I am grateful for the possibility of a new beginning. These words, repeated daily, will reprogram your nervous system to seek abundance instead of scarcity, possibility instead of problem. And here is a liberating truth. You don't need to control the future to be well now. Let that penetrate deeply. The need to control is born from the fear that something terrible will happen if you release the reins. But observe nature around you. Trees don't plan how their branches will grow. Birds don't rehearse their migrations with anxiety. The river doesn't worry about which stone it will encounter on the path. Everything flows with an innate trust in the perfect order of life. And you, my dear, are part of that same nature. You can trust in the flow. I am sustained by the universe in every moment. I choose to flow with life instead of resisting it. This doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean you don't take practical actions or make responsible plans. It means you do what you need to do from a place of centered calm instead of frantic panic. You plant the seeds, water the garden, but trust that the earth, sun, and rain will do their part in the growth. You offer your best effort, but release the need to control every outcome. There is profound wisdom in doing your part and then trusting that the universe will do its. When anxious thoughts arise throughout the day, because they will arise, don't fight against them. Observe them as you would observe clouds passing in the sky. Ah, here comes the thought that I won't be able to manage. Here is the worry about the future. Name it, acknowledge it, but don't board it. Don't create a story around it. Don't let it hijack the next 30 minutes or 3 hours of your life. Simply return to your breath. Return to the present moment. Return to your chosen affirmation. You can create anchors of peace throughout the day. Every time you wash your hands, pause and breathe consciously 3 times. Every time you open a door, remember that you're also opening the door to new possibilities. Every time you drink water, thank your body for functioning perfectly. These micro-practices seem simple, but they are profoundly powerful because they keep you anchored in the now, interrupting the automatic cycle of anxious thoughts running in the background of your mind like an outdated computer program. And if you wake up tomorrow and anxiety is still there, don't despair. Don't interpret this as failure. Transformation takes time. Deep patterns don't dissolve instantly. But each day you practice choosing peace, you are strengthening new neural circuits. You are creating new patterns. You are building a new reality, brick by brick, breath by breath, thought by thought. Be as gentle with yourself as you would be with a child learning to walk. They fall, get up, fall again, get up again, until one day they're running. You will get there too. Remember, you are not your anxiety. You are the consciousness that is aware of the anxiety. You are the sky that remains untouched while storms pass. You are the deep ocean that remains serene while waves agitate the surface. You are much more vast, much more powerful, much more divine than any limiting mental pattern. And when you recognize yourself in this truth, when you anchor yourself in this deeper identity, anxiety loses its dominion over you. I see you as you truly are, a being of infinite light, temporarily forgotten of your own magnitude. I see beyond the fog of anxiety, beyond the racing thoughts, beyond the fear. I see your pure essence, your unshakable strength, your unlimited capacity for healing and transformation. And I invite you to begin seeing yourself through these same loving eyes. You deserve to live in peace. You deserve to awaken with lightness. You deserve to experience each day as the precious gift it is. So, my dear one, as you move forward in this day and in the days to come, remember this moment. Remember that you chose peace. Remember that you have tools, your breath, your affirmations, your ability to observe thoughts without identifying with them. Remember that you are not alone on this journey. There is a greater force sustaining you, guiding you, loving you unconditionally with every step. I am peace. I am calm. I am light. And so it is. Breathe deeply now. Feel the transformation that has already begun within you. It is subtle, perhaps, but real. With each day you practice these truths, it will deepen. You are on the path back home, back to the serenity that has always been yours by divine nature. Walk with grace. Walk with confidence. Walk knowing that the universe conspires in your favor. You are loved. You are enough. You are, and always have been, exactly what you needed to be. And in this new dawn of consciousness, you choose peace, you choose calm, you choose to believe that all is well, because it is. All is well, and it will continue to be well, always. May the light that you are illuminate every step of your path. May the peace you choose expand to touch every area of your life. May you awaken tomorrow a little lighter, a little more confident, a little more connected with your essential truth. You have everything you need within you. You always have. You always will. Rest in that certainty. Breathe in that truth. Live from that place of unshakable peace that no one and nothing can take from you, because it is who you truly are. And so it is, and so it shall be, always.